Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Today's tips on Chromebooks. Today we're going to talk about transferring photos from your phone to your Chromebook, moving the shelf on a Chromebook, right-clicking on a Chromebook, and symbols and Unicodes on a Chromebook. I'm Hewie Poplock. Transferring photos from your phone to your Chromebook using either an iPhone or an Android phone. If you use an iPhone as your personal smartphone and a Chromebook at home or at work or even at school, you might want to move files between these devices. One of the most common requests is to move photos from an iPhone to a Chromebook. The good news is there are a few convenient options on how to transfer your photos. Depending upon your level of integration with the Google ecosystem, you can choose to use cloud storage or sync directly using USB. Either way, you'll be able to enjoy your full resolution iPhone photos on your Chromebook. Let's take a look at the options in more detail. Using Google Photos for cloud syncing. If you want an easy way to get your iPhone photos on a Chromebook without a hassle, cloud syncing is your best bet. Apple and Google both have incredibly popular photo apps. As a loyal Android and Chrome user, I'd argue that Google's solution is a better one, which is actually nice because it's also available on iOS. Apple doesn't make their Photos app available on Android, so you really need to go with the Google solution here to sync your photos to your Chromebook in the cloud using the first-party solution. If you simply install the Photos app on your iPhone and choose to sync full quality images, all of your photos will be available in the Photos app on your Chromebook. You can also access all your photos using Google Photos web app as well. This by far is the easiest solution, but of course there's the issue of original quality backups and paying for this storage from Google if you take a lot of photos. It's also possible to manually transfer photos, which we'll cover next. But that's quite a bit more complicated than just using Google Photos. Keep in mind that most Chromebooks don't have a lot of storage on board, so you may not be able to locally store every single photo you take anyway. Now, if you use another cloud service like Dropbox, Box, or OneDrive, these also are options for syncing photos through the cloud. Amazon Photos is another option worth considering since they're currently offering unlimited full-quality backups, something Google removed from their Photos app recently. Transfer photos manually over USB. If you prefer to take care of business the old-fashioned way, you can easily do that as well. Just physically connect your iPhone to the USB port on your Chromebook. Provide permission on your iPhone when prompted, and the Chrome OS Files app will then show the photo data from your iPhone. Keep in mind you'll need to use a USB to Lightning cable for the connection, as Apple is still using Lightning ports on the iPhone. If your Chromebook has a USB-C port, as newer Chromebooks do, you'll need a USB-C to Lightning. For older Chromebooks or budget models, you'll need a USB-A to Lightning cable. If you don't have that cable that came with your iPhone, you can easily find a number of third-party options on Amazon. However, be careful. The first time I tried to do this for this particular recording, the cord that I used was able to charge my iPhone, but it was not a data cable. So you got to make sure that it is a data cable or a cable capable of transferring data. So let's take a look at doing this. So I'm going to plug in my iPhone. When I do, you'll see that it asks to allow this device to access photos and videos. This device will be able to access photos and videos while it's connected to your iPhone. And I can either allow or not allow. So let's take a look before we tell it to allow. Let's take a look at our files. And you'll see that it does show the Apple iPhone, but if I click on it, there's nothing there. But if I tell it to allow, as soon as I do, immediately it connects, and I can either back up, so we're not going to do that, but we can take any one of these folders. Let's take this one, for instance. There is a picture here. We're going to copy it, not move it. We're going to copy it to our downloads folder on our Chromebook. And there it is. It was taken a month ago. And if I double click it, not even sure what this picture is going to be. I double click it, it will open. It was a screenshot. So, but I was able to immediately take that file, copy it from my iPhone to my Chromebook. And if we move up here with the Apple iPhone, we'll see there's a folder called DCIM. That's where the photos are stored. And once we go in there, then it's in several different folders on my iPhone. The folder names are by date. And when you open it, you'll see that it shows several different files in each one of the folders. And so I could copy all or some or just one if I wanted to. Now you ask, what about an Android phone? Let's go ahead and unplug our iPhone. And this time we're going to plug in my Android phone. The Android has a similar allow access to phone data. And let's go ahead and we'll open files again. We don't see anything there, but when I tell it to allow, you can see that it immediately opens up my Galaxy 8 Plus, 8S Plus, and I can see camera screenshots. I can go to the camera. I can take a picture from here. Let's just take any picture, put it in the same place, which is the downloads folder. So we'll take this file, we'll copy it over to downloads, and there it is. And it's now on our local drive, and when I open it, it opens it up and shows a picture. So you can do the same thing with an Android phone and or your iPhone simply by plugging it in, allowing the access, and then it's just another drive to be able to copy the files over to your Chromebook. You can also use either a thumb drive or an external hard drive with files on it and copy the files directly to your Chromebook as well. And then from there you can copy it over to your Google Drive if you wish once you get it organized. So it's quite easy to be able to copy files directly and manually from your phones. How to right-click on a Chromebook. If you're using a Chromebook, you may notice that you have one trackpad without any buttons. So how do you right-click to access context menus? Don't worry, it's easy to right-click when you need to on a Chromebook. All you have to do is tap the trackpad with 2 fingers, one time, but use 2 fingers. And when you do, you will get your context menu. So for instance, let's open up a website. Let's go to hewie.net, just to go to someplace. And if we click with 2 fingers on the trackpad, I get the choices that you would get if you had the right mouse button on the trackpad. Now, you can use a physical mouse. If you have a physical mouse, you can connect it to your Chromebook, as with any other laptop. You can plug in a USB mouse into one of your Chromebook's ports and use it as normal. The right mouse button will work just the same as on any other computer. If you have a Bluetooth mouse, you'll have to pair it with your Chromebook before you can use it. And I need to warn you that Bluetooth mice are very fickle, and a lot of times I have not been happy with using a Bluetooth mouse. If you don't want to manually click or have trouble clicking, Chromebooks have an option to automatically click when you stop moving the cursor. It's part of Google Chromebook's accessibility options. To enable this feature, you go to the Settings menu, and then click Device, and then click on the Advanced, and then click on Manage Accessibility Features. And when you do, scroll down to the mouse and touchpad, and you'll see automatically click when the cursor stops. If you turn that on, there's your left click, your right click. You can see them here, double click, so you can change it to whatever you want. The default interval is 1 second, which you can adjust in the menu. To disable automatic clicking, simply disable the automatically click when the cursor stops switch. Now you can right-click on the Chromebook. Sometimes simple things like right-clicking can seem a little different on a Chromebook. Chromebooks are simple to use, and you can right-click as you would on any other laptop, and even right-click automatically if you need to. It can take some time for first-time Chromebook users to get comfortable with the interface, since the Chrome OS is a lot different than Windows or the Mac OS. How to move the shelf on a Chromebook. It's easy to position the Chrome OS shelf on the left, the right, or the bottom edge of your screen. First, right-click on the shelf or an empty part of your desktop in the menu that pops up. As we do that, you will see Shelf Position. When we move our mouse over it, it will show either left, bottom, or right. To adjust the shelf position, you go to it's on the bottom. So when you click the shelf position, you can go to the left. We're now on the left. We click again. We're going to move it to the right. We can click again. And now we can move it back to the bottom. How to type symbols with Unicodes on a Chromebook. Your Chromebook has a full keyboard, but sometimes you want to type a character that doesn't have its own key. Let's look at a couple of examples what I'm talking about. These are all different characters here, and if we zoom in, you can see these different characters. You got the alphabet, but then you have certain characters. There are Unicodes that go with those. To type it in on a Chromebook, you have to do it a certain way. And you do that by doing a Control-Shift and the letter U, and then typing the character that goes with it. So for an example, we have 3 items here. The first one is a degree sign. It's Control-Shift-U. You'll see the U with an underline, and then you type in 00B0 and enter, and there's your degree sign. For your copyright sign, you do a Control-Shift-U. It gives you the underlined U, and then you type in 00A9 and enter. And you'll see you got the copyright sign. You'll notice with the first one I did with a capital letter and the second one with a small letter, so it really doesn't matter. Now what about an English pound? You're going to do a Control-Shift-U and then 00A3, enter, and there it is. Now how do you know which ones and what to use? Well, there's one place you can go is Wiki, and let's go ahead and back out this a little bit. And you'll see that there is a huge list of all of the characters that you can use by this method. Those are Unicodes to get the particular character that you want, and you can do that on a Chromebook very easily. In summary, we've learned how to transfer photos from your iPhone or your Android phone to your Chromebook. We've learned how to move the shelf. We've learned how to right-click, and we've learned about symbols and Unicodes. I'm Hewie Poplock. Thanks for joining Chromebooks and Tips.